Okay, now.
What did they do to us?
It's us.
Us?
What do you mean? We're choosing who dies.
A soft red glow slices through the dark. 50 strangers stand motionless, arranged like pieces on a board. Two tight circles facing an unseen center. Then, one woman wakes. Confused, trembling, she calls out, but the silence is loaded. She steps forward and a sharp buzz slaps the air. The floor beneath her flashes red. She freezes, tries backward, same warning. Her panic rises, and she reaches for the soldier beside her. The same pulse answers, don't move. From across the room, a man's voice cuts through the confusion. Stop moving. They can see us. Who's they? He doesn't know. No one does. Moments later, another woman wakes, screaming. She breaks formation, and that's it. A violent beam of energy slams her from the black dome in the center. She drops where she stood. No sound, no smoke, just gone. And the circle learns fast. The rules are enforced. The lights flicker on, revealing faces of every age, color, and panic level imaginable. Someone immediately dies mid-question. No reason, no warning, just the same silent beam. The group spirals into chaos, people yelling, ducking, pleading. But the floor hums like a living thing, waiting. Then, a man in a hat notices something odd. Lights, tiny red pointers, crawl around the circle's floor, stopping beneath random people. The man lifts his hand, experiment. The light beneath his feet responds. His eyes widen. It's us, he says. We're doing this. The next pulse comes, and a woman collapses. The crowd turns on him, accusing, but he's right. They can vote. They are voting. Someone, somewhere, is dying because of it. The beeping begins again, that metronomic countdown of dread. Someone suggests a test. Everyone should vote for the same dead person. The light pulses. Still, another body drops. Another round. This time they refuse to vote at all. The dome answers for them, a random death. The message is clear, participate or perish. The panic cools into calculation. Strategy replaces denial. A calm voice suggests something practical. We kill the old first. By time to think, cold logic, but it sticks. Some agree instantly, others choke on the thought. The circle tightens anyway. The first old man begs. The light turns toward him, and he's gone. The silence that follows isn't respect. It's relief. Someone mutters that it's not right. Another answers, nothing about this is right. They don't know it yet, but morality is already losing ground. And the next sound, soft beeping again, means the next test begins. He thinks this is control. It's not. The new rhythm forms. 2 minutes, 1 death. It's clinical, predictable, and somehow worse for it. A young man in a blue hoodie tries to take charge. Calm voice, analytical eyes. He calls for order, treating the group like a strategy problem. We think before we panic. We kill the elderly first until we figure this out. It's efficient. It's cruel. It works. The next old man starts to plead, shaking his head as if logic could beat the system. The floor pulses once, and he's erased. By the third round, most people aren't screaming anymore. They're calculating. It's amazing how fast empathy burns out when survival's on the line. The group begins sharing memories. Everyone remembers being in Los Angeles, then darkness, then something, a flash, a force pulling them upward. One man swears he saw a red room filled with other bodies, stacked like discarded mannequins. He insists they weren't dead, just waiting. Someone mentions aliens. The word hangs heavy, half ridiculous, half probable. Then an old man claims he saw them, heard them. He describes lights, shapes, voices that weren't human. He's voted out instantly. Belief, it turns out, isn't what saves you here. The circle shrinks, the air thickens, and somewhere between fear and fatigue, patterns form. A woman, gray hair, strong voice, admits she's a cancer survivor. She's only 52. The blue hoodie guy points out the obvious. Then you've already used up your luck. He doesn't make it to the next round. The group eliminates him for crossing that invisible moral line. Not because they're righteous, but because he said out loud what everyone else was thinking. The cancer survivor lasts another few minutes. Then she starts pushing for order. We should figure out why we're here, not who to kill next. They nod. Then someone votes her out mid-sentence. Order doesn't last long in a death experiment. Next, connection starts surfacing. A man recognizes the woman beside him, his wife. A doctor recognizes the man she's been having an affair with. A cop recognizes a tattooed guy named Raul and calls him out for domestic abuse. Raul doesn't deny it. She got what she deserved, he spits. Wrong answer. He's vaporized before he can blink. And just like that, the circle finds a new purpose, moral judgment. Who's the sinner? Who's the saint? Who gets to live based on story alone? They call it figuring out the reason. But really, it's just an excuse to keep voting. Soon, the talk turns ugly. A black man points out that the last few people killed were all minorities. The cop, already itching for another argument, fires back with bile. You people get everything handed to you already. That's it. His floor flashes red. The dome silences him for good. The group stares, half in shock, half in satisfaction. One of the few clean kills they'll make tonight. The lights dim for a beat, like the dome itself is observing them, measuring. And then it starts again. They realize they can't vote for themselves. They can only point the finger outward. A few try to game the system, splitting votes, trying for ties. It doesn't work. The dome always breaks the tie. One man votes for a pregnant woman. The rest follow the logic. She's vulnerable, maybe even a liability. But when the lights flash and the man dies instead, the pattern becomes clear. She's special. Eric, the same guy who's been quietly watching since the beginning, makes the key discovery. His voice cuts through the noise. There's no way out. The game keeps going until there's one person left. The words hit harder than any beam. This isn't about cooperation. It's a countdown. The silence that follows isn't fear, it's realization. And someone finally whispers what everyone's thinking. That it's all about who deserves to live. Yeah, now the real game starts. The moment the truth lands, only one survives, the energy changes. Now every face in the room is a potential threat. The moral talk keeps going, sure, but it's theater now. Everyone's acting righteous while quietly calculating how long they can last. A teenage boy, eyes red and trembling, suddenly steps forward. I'll go. Someone has to. He's vaporized instantly. The zapper hums like applause. His sacrifice buys them 2 quiet minutes. That's all mercy is worth here. The next to volunteer is an older woman. She says she's lost her son, so it's fine. She's ready. The deacon beside her whispers, "You'll see him again." When the beam hits her, she almost smiles. But peace never lasts long in this circle. A sharp-voiced man in a black suit breaks the silence. You talk about God? There's only one God here, the machine. He laughs at the believers, mocks them for clinging to hope. When the vote starts, it's between him and the quiet blonde he's been harassing. She wins. He dies. Good riddance. The blonde sobs, and a man with glasses, smug, polished, leans in like a vulture. "We should consider who has children," he says. "People with families contribute more." That tone, calm, corporate, nauseating. A husband in the front agrees. He and his wife talk about their daughter. The group hesitates. Maybe family count for something. Then the next round starts, and a random woman gets zapped mid-sentence. The system doesn't care about sentiment, but the husband keeps talking, promising they'll make it through. That phrase will age poorly. Soon, new targets appear. A woman admits she's gay. The glasses man's ally, a red-type bigot, calls it unnatural. The next beam finds him before anyone else can argue. The group exhales, one less mouth poisoning the air. Now only patterns remain. Alliances forming, dissolving, reforming within minutes. Flannel shirt guy, the kind of everyman who's just competent enough to be dangerous, proposes something clean. When it's down to 2, one just doesn't vote, the other wins. It sounds noble, but nobility's cheap when you haven't reached the final round yet. The idea spreads. Some nod like it's the first honest thought they've heard. Others glance around, already calculating who might not vote when the time comes. The blonde woman whispers to the doctor next to her, "What if it's us?" He doesn't answer. The dome does. They're both gone. 2 at once. A tie, and then a clean reset. The soldier, a man who's kept mostly quiet, finally steps in. "We stop the guilt talk. We figure this out strategically." Translation: I'm done pretending to care. Meanwhile, Eric, the calm one, keeps watching, learning how they turn on each other. Every time someone moralizes, he notes who they're protecting, who they're threatening. When a translator woman dies, defending the immigrant beside her, Eric doesn't flinch. He just counts how many are left. The immigrant, realizing what's happening, steps off his own circle to protect the little girl. A brief act of grace, gone in seconds, and the countdown continues. The group fractures completely now, 2 factions forming like rival tribes in a petri dish. One, led by Eric, the soldier and the cancer survivor, says the obvious. We protect the pregnant woman and the little girl. They deserve to live. The other, led by a slick, bearded man and a smug financier, argues equality. No one's life is worth more. Save them, and you're just playing favorites. They call it fairness, but it's fear wrapped in logic. The dome hums. Votes flash. Eric's side loses people, but every death sharpens their plan. Then a quiet, brutal compromise happens. They threaten the fake husband. Vote with us, or your wife dies next. He switches sides instantly. Under pressure, the couple confesses. They aren't married at all. They made it up to gain sympathy. The room turns on them. The husband's floor glows first. He's gone before he can explain. The fake wife sobs, promising it was just to survive. The others look away. Everyone knows the truth. Lying isn't the crime. Losing is. By now, trust is radioactive. Every promise sounds like a setup. Eric's voice cuts through again, calm but edged. You either play smart or you die sentiment. He's not wrong, but it's also the moment we realize he's not the hero either. And the circle's getting smaller. By now the room feels smaller, though the walls haven't moved an inch. It's the air, thick with fear and logic fighting for control. Only a dozen or so people remain, each pretending the next vote doesn't already have their name on it. The bearded man, the one who preached equality, starts acting like a dictator. His fairness now sounds more like dominance. Everyone votes honestly, he says. No alliances. Eric's group doesn't answer. Their silence is an alliance. The next vote breaks his rule anyway. His block loses a member and paranoia floods. The bearded man shouts at the pregnant woman, calling her a liability. The girl beside her starts crying. Flannel guy, steady, moral, tired, steps between them. You touch her and you're next. The bearded man smirks, but everyone knows the threat is real. The next flash decides for them. The rich man in the suit vanishes. His block's morale goes with him. Eric watches the balance shift, his eyes almost clinical. He's seen this kind of collapse before. Not in war, though it feels like it, but in systems. Humans under pressure always default to self-interest, and he's counting on it. Meanwhile, the remaining wife, the liar, scrambled for safety. She tries to join Eric's side now. He doesn't reject her, but his look says it all. She's just another number in his equation. When the vote lands on her anyway, she tries to plead, "I can help you, please." But her floor lights red. She's gone midward. That leaves 5. The pregnant woman, the little girl, Eric, the bearded man, and the silent man who has never voted for anyone. The room hums differently now, like the dome itself is aware of the stakes. The bearded man folds his arms, trying to play leader again. "We can stop here," he says. "Let them live." That's the right call. But Eric tilts his head. "You sure? You've been talking about your kid this whole time." The bearded man stares back, realizing what's coming. The beeping starts. They vote. The bearded man's light flashes first. He doesn't beg. He just shakes his head once, as if to say, "Figures." Then he's gone, for left. The silent man's time finally comes. The others notice he's made it this far without voting once, like a ghost. Eric asks him, "How'd you do it?" The man just shrugs. He doesn't answer, doesn't defend. That quiet defiance earns him respect, and then earns him a beam to the chest. He drops without a sound. The circle is now brutally intimate. Eric, the pregnant woman, the child. The game's end feels close enough to touch. The little girl wipes her eyes. "You can win," she tells the woman. "You have a baby. That's 2 lives." Eric nods, even smiles a little. "She's right. I'll stay." You two decide who steps off. It sounds noble. It's not. The girl steps forward first, saying she'll sacrifice herself. Her bravery softens the room for a second. Then Eric votes. The pregnant woman gasps. The light under her feet ignites, and she's gone. Before anyone can react, the girl's momentum carries her off her own platform. She dies a heartbeat later. Silence. Eric is the last man standing. He waits, chest heaving, expecting punishment. Nothing happens. Then a low hum ripples through the room, and something clicks. A faint red light remains, hovering over the space where the pregnant woman fell. He realizes the truth too late. There's still one more life, the unborn child. The system registers it as a player. Eric hesitates, face twisting as the countdown begins again. There's no one to reason with, no one to manipulate. Just him and an empty platform holding a heartbeat. When the final second hits, he whispers, "I'm sorry." He votes. The red light flares and vanishes. Then the dome powers down. Silence. No hum. No pulse. Just victory, if you can call it that. He wakes up lying on asphalt, bathed in sunlight. The city skyline of Los Angeles looms ahead. Broken, smoky, unfamiliar. He staggers to his feet, scanning the streets. And that's when he sees them. Hundreds of people, dazed, wandering. Different ages, races, faces, and yes, other pregnant women too. Above them, in a cloudless sky, hovered dozens of colossal alien crafts. No sound, no motion, just watching. Eric stares upward, eyes narrowing. He's alive. For now, he won the circle. But what game did he actually survive?